It all started in London when Tony Allen and Damon Albarn decided to do a project in Nigeria. It's a musical project. So the idea was for them to come here to Nigeria and then they do some recording, just like what Paul McCartney did in the 70s when he came.
Fella.
Exactly. Yeah. So six of us came on the first time. That was 2003. It was six of us. Damon Albarn, the late Tony Allen, Greg, who happens to be Damon Albarn production manager. He was in charge of the money. Yeah. And then there's Mike Smith, who is a keyboardist, saxophonist, brilliant musician.
Producer.
Yeah. And then who else? Then myself. And I believe the producer of the project. So the six of us came, and my role was the coordinator of this historical project. We never knew how historic it was then. But my job was to coordinate London and Nigeria. The logistic. So my job was artist management, exactly. So I was the one that found this hotel to stay.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So because I did the research and somebody said, oh, there's a place called Bogobri, and I said, oh, great.
And it's an artist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
It was new as well.
It was new.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Now, this place used to be a room.
Yeah.
And when about a year ago, not up to a year ago, Chike got married and left to America. So this place started when you came. This place started.
Oh, really?
I even never started playing in this place. I remembered I came to play with a guy called Daniel Bankole. He was playing the sax and I was playing keyboard. But because Damon Albarn came, they said we should try to play here.
To entertain.
To entertain.
Oh, I see.
And I remember when you came, there was a woman from the British Council.
Yeah. Denise. Waldington. Denise. I'm still in contact with Denise.
Yeah, you give me her contact.
Yeah.
Then Bogobri started. I started playing here for 5 years. I brought Wura Samba to play percussion. Because when we started at that time, there was no thing. One day, one guy just broke a piano guitar. And he said, oh, just play guitar. And I said, oh, play guitar. I said, I know how to play piano. Yeah. So we started on a Thursday.
Right.
And we played for 5 years. But he was paying me with Wura Samba. It was building up. And then I recorded my first album here.
Right.
It was a live album of Fela in the 60s.
Yes.
And then they bought the other side of Bogobiri. That was how, in 2001 and 2011, they started in that side. And then I started playing live music on that side. But listen,
I know.
that side is no more.
Okay.
That kind of development you see now.
Yes.
This place used to be room 7, where Prince used to stay.
Yes.
So when they broke that place, this place, Bogobiri has really blown. There's a very, very big, from that my performance, there's performance here almost every day. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but the Thursday one is the youthful one called the open mic. And it's still happening up to now.
I just don't want us to.
No, you don't want to now. But we get to that point.
Yeah.
So the open mic got there, and when the open mic started, about build up, big, massive. So there was not going to be open mic for the next week. So Tola said now, because she is Femi Chike's partner.
Yes, I know.
Remember when you came that time, Tola was serving you.
Yeah, it was Tola. Yeah.
So Chike now, Tola now said, Dumo, and she is a designer, interior designer. I said, Dumo, what do you do? You will break this place? Yes. I said, why not? So they broke this place. They broke the other room too.
Okay.
So in 1 week, they make this place. Yeah. That's what I was trying to say.
Okay,
so this place doesn't look like.
Okay, exactly. Thank you. So 6 of us came. We came on the British Airways.
Yeah.
And then we arrived in Nigeria.
Okay.
So before we arrived, I've already organized this Bogobiri where we are going to stay. Then the other issue now is the studio we are going to use.
Okay.
So my first recommendation was a remix because that was the
name
then,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
new
And that place also have live recording. Yeah.
So we arrived in Lagos, and then we went to we came here first, put all our stuff down.
Yeah.
I guess, and then the following day
You went to
we went to a remix.
Yeah.
You know, you know, by then I've already arranged food, the musicians that will be performing with us. I employed over 30 Nigerian musicians.
Wow.
Over.
I remember
30.
Bati was part of it.
Yes,
Yeah,
over
Bati,
30
yeah.
musicians.
I remember.
And then that was so. But the first time we came, you know, we only stayed for like about a couple of days.
Okay.
Maybe about 6. We spent like about a week,
Okay.
I guess. And then we now went back. No, before we went back, they weren't happy with the studio. Because they felt it was too modern. You know. So, and I thought, okay, what about Decca? Because everywhere you go in Nigeria, the shadow of Fela
Is there.
is there. You know, when it comes to music, you want to get the sound that those people were
That's
getting.
where it get from,
in
where that
those
sound
days.
was.
Exactly.
And Fela has always recorded in Decca. Fela had because
In
all
Iwaya.
yeah,
Yeah,
Iwaya.
yeah.
I was one of the guys that recorded with Fela. We recorded that's the first time.
Oh, really?
Suffering and Smiling.
Suffering
That I
and
recorded
Smiling.
with Fela.
Wow.
Me and myself and Lemmy. You know, Lemmy was doing all the designs
Yes,
for Fela.
yes.
So Decca was the place. But why Fela wanted Decca? Because of the package, the packing, the traditional
Right.
set of the studio.
Fantastic.
And then the reel to reel.
Real to real. So that was what
And then the engineers.
engineer.
Yes.
So that was what brought us to Decca.
Yeah.
So when we arrived at Decca, they look at everything and thought, this won't meet our standard. But to buttress your point, the packaging was still there.
The sound,
the
you get from the
sound,
studio,
you
yeah.
know, the ambience of that
Ambience.
old place, and
The
everything.
acoustics.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know. So we agreed that okay, we will be using Decca
Okay.
a studio,
Yeah.
and then we're going to be staying at Bogobiri.
Yeah, okay.
But that was an incredible experience
Okay.
that I witnessed while we were at Decca. Because I saw Damon Albarn, he walked away from everyone, like to the back of the building, and I saw him, you know, buried a stone
On the ground.
on the ground.
Yeah.
So I was watching him and I was thinking, what's this guy doing?
Yeah.
But then you now mentioned something to me
Yeah.
that you had a conversation with him.
A very, very long conversation. And that conversation, when you finished playing, he just dug what I was doing. You know? And he called me and said, Duro, I dug the piano. In fact, he came to play with us. He was playing the
Harmonica. Wow, wow.
So
What an experience.
when we finished, I said, Duro, I really love what you are playing. I said, you know, me, I'm a Pan-Africanist. But when you come, I think you are you global.
Yes.
I said, so I really, I don't have anything against white people, Europe and everything. I said, now I think that world should be going international. We must be going globalized. We must be preaching internationalism.
So why did he talk about that?
So I said,
Two by three.
I am a reincarnation of Albert Einstein. So that blew him up. I said, we ran out of Einstein. I said, yeah. I said, I don't say it to people. I said, because you are a very special person, I just have to show you a little bit of why I'm doing this. I'm not supposed to be a musician. I didn't go to school, like university, everything. Although I went to Royal School of Music, London, and everything. I can read and write and things. But I'm not interested in this kind of education, because it's not the education that makes you in Africa. It's the education that enslaves you. And he said, no, don't think like that. He said, well, I think I'm a reincarnation of an expatriate, a DO, in Ikoyi, and I stayed in Ikoyi.
Oh, wow. Unreal.
Time, maybe you are Bodilon or McFarlane.
Wow.
And one of those kind of guys. And that's why you are here today, because Tony Allen is our man. You can't, when you're working with Tony Allen, you're working with all of us. Tony Allen was the one that brought the rhythm into Fela's music, because most of the drummers that we had in Nigeria were high-life drummers. And Tony Allen was tuning Fela as a drummer. He had the earring. He was really way ahead. And I saw one of his documentary with Fela. In that documentary, it was Fela, the father of, for the BBC, father of Afrobeat. And he said, I've been going around and Fela saw me, but I'm fed up. That was the language he used. I'm fed up with all this kind of music they play. I want something, I want to explore. I want something that, like you said before we came here, I want to explore. I want something that is going to tax inspire me. So when I saw Fela, I wouldn't even match, because I was just high-life drum, boo, boo, boo. Then Fela started boo. Fela was funky, it was African. So I go follow this man.
So let me now jump in.
Yeah.
So after the I think
so you
so
drop that in
so
the
you
ground.
can see the relationship between him burying his stone on the ground. It's like a promise that, okay, I'm coming back. So that is the kind of reincarnation.
Wow, that's the first time
that you are talking about. So because I didn't remember, I said I have no idea what he was doing. So that was the first time. So we went back to England. Then the real preparation now began. Then we assembled. I believe it was about 8 or so of us that then came, because then we added Cesar No, Tony Allen's bass player, join us. Remi Kabaka, the son of the legendary.
Remi Kabaka was also here. And his son, it was his son.
His son, yeah.
Yeah, it was his son. I remember.
Yeah, he came on that project.
Yeah.
And then who else came with us?
This is the second time.
This is the second time.
Yeah, that's the documentary I have.
Exactly.
We documented it.
Exactly.
And we're recording it. Chicken said I should document everything.
Fantastic.
So I
hope I'm in that documentary.
I will look at it. It was a bit dark and things, but
yeah,
I'm sure when I look at it.
So it was when we now came back.
Yeah.
We now took over the whole of Bogobiri.
Yeah.
All the rooms were completely booked. To the extent that we have to add Nimbus Gallery.
Yeah.
We took some of the rooms.
Yeah, I remember. So
and
there were some rooms.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when we now arrived,
and that's why you rehearsed.
That's why we rehearsed, because they didn't allow us to retrieve all the instruments that Damon brought. Damon brought huge amount of equipment, massive amount. So the customer,
you had to return that?
No, the customer, like, I don't even know what happened. We have to return some because he hired some.
Okay.
It was a mass. The custom did not let us remove those equipment. They said, "Oh, we are coming to sell them."
Because I remember Tony Allen gave Bogobiri a drum, a
drum,
right? And up to now we have that drum.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now, when we now came, I now employ 30 musicians or more.
Wow.
To work on this new project. The project had no name.
No name.
No name. So we were there doing, we did a lot of rehearsal at Nimbus. We have to go and ask the French Cultural Center to hire us their equipment.
Yeah.
They didn't even hire us. They gave us for free.
Wow.
With Ibrahim.
This is Joe Bertrand?
Joe Bertrand.
Yeah, I remember.
Joe Bertrand.
Joe Bertrand was the one that took me to meet the now president of France.
Oh wow, Macron.
Wow. Macron was a student at that time. So we went to play with Fatai Rolling Dollar in Abuja.
In Abuja.
So I was the manager. I took Fatai to Abuja.
And Macron was there.
Yeah, he was
in
there.
Abuja.
He was,
Wow.
And that day was a very interesting day because when we got there, Fatai went smoking and he slept over. We were supposed to be at the studio, the session for 4 o'clock. Fatai did not wake up until 4:30. You know the French don't like late coming. Eventually we got to the place around 4:45. The man said, "You can't do this, brother." I said, "Well, Papa, cool down.
So anyway,
I'm in charge."
so I love the way this thing is flowing.
Yeah.
So we all arrived here.
Yeah.
This place was buzzing.
Wow.
Oh, people were coming from everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Because we are over 30 musicians. We were like about 10 plus. You know, then people were coming in and out. Journalists were coming from UK, wondering what was going on. What is Demon doing in Nigeria?
And BBC, British Council was
British Council, because they did they facilitated all
Yeah.
the great
It's a
British thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. So while we were here, you know, it was the creative hub. We wake up in the morning, we had breakfast in this place. My room was on that room side. Damon's room, I think, was in that. Tony Allen's room was right at the edge of that place. Greg's room was by the side of the bar.
Wow.
And then I think there was somebody else here.
Yeah, this is room 7.
So we all converge, have our breakfast.
Yeah.
The transport is waiting for us. We have 2 buses with police protection.
Oh!
We have 2 mopo that take us, you know. Come on, sir.
Welcome, sir.
Welcome our
Prince AG,
our legendary
big father.
father, Prince. Prince is one of the oldest musicians in Nigeria.
Yes.
He is 83 going 84.
Yeah.
The other
It
oldest
was born
musician.
on 19th of February.
Wow. The oldest musician now, I probably would say, is Babani, who is
Babani.
88.
Yeah, 88, yes.
Yeah. We
His birthday was August.
Yeah, we were together yesterday.
We were together.
Freedom Park.
Wow.
He was on fire. Baba was on fire, dancing and doing everything.
Was it Femi and Shaw's
No, for slide.
okay, slide, the trumpet,
trombonist, yeah. So that was how I realized so when we went back to Decca Studio, then Damon went straight to that spot and he dug out the stone.
Wow.
And he brought the stone down.
Wow.
So I thought, wow.
That's a spiritual guy.
So I have to
and he
ask him.
remembered that spot where
Exactly.
the stone was. Wow.
Exactly. So anyway, we were here. We couldn't retrieve our instrument from the customs.
Yeah.
So we hired all our
Instruments
from French.
yeah.
So they gave us for free. So I took them on, and all of us went to go and say thank you to them. I remember we took a picture at the French Alliance Française, you know, there, you know,
Queen Elizabeth
way. So after that, we were doing the rehearsal and everything. We finally retrieved our equipment. We set everything up. Damon brought a whole mixing desk. He brought so much equipment, drum set, series of guitars, all sorts of things, you know. So we set up the recording, you know, at Bogobiri, at Iwaya, Decca Studio. So that was the beginning of the recording. But unfortunately, because I'm not going to talk in depth, because this will appear in my book, and hopefully the documentary that me and you is going to embark on, because you did a lot of the documentation that I wasn't even aware of, you know.
Because
So-
we documented it when you were here.
Yeah.
Chike said we should record everything.
Fantastic.
So they recorded everything.
Yeah.
And I remember one guy who was saying, look at, see this white guy who come and exploit us. And I said, see, let me tell you something. You must appreciate what this guy is saying. Because your own country, nobody says anything good about you in your own country. And somebody is coming from somewhere to come and say...
And you are saying that they're coming to come and
they think they're coming to rip you off. The white man ripped you off and this. This is not what you be saying now.
But then that was even wrong. Duro,
Yeah.
remember I told you
Yeah.
I employ over 30 musicians.
Yeah.
I paid each one of them 200,000
Can you imagine that? Who has
for
ever
2
been-
weeks
who
in
has ever been-
2004.
Who has ever been able
in
to pay
Nigeria.
that kind of money in
Exactly.
Nigeria?
And that's not all. We have 3 times meal. When they all arrive, we have breakfast here, fruit and those light English.
Yeah.
In the afternoon, we go to Sweet Sensation. We order for 40 packs
Wow.
of rice every day. We bring it from there. In the evening, I gave my mom the contract for food.
Wow.
So my mom will come in the evening
Bring some
and
food.
set up amala, eba, jollof rice,
Wow.
and nimbos, and
Wow.
everyone, even from Ikori remix,
Mhm.
that feeding started
Okay.
from there.
Wow.
And I remember, there was a time that everybody had to queue up to go and get their food. And people were like wanting those white men to go and get their food first. I said, no.
We're not like that.
We're not like that. Who is
Now this is
what's the last? Who's the last on the queue? You, okay?
Your
And
food.
everybody, everybody joined the queue.
Was Inca Davis part of the recording?
This was later.
Okay.
Originally, Inca
Because I
wasn't.
remember-
Yeah, Inca wasn't at the beginning. But what happened was that, like I said, we started the recording. Some of the musicians that I brought were starting to become lazy. They could not rise to that challenge.
Challenge. Yeah.
That these people come here to come and explore our reading. So let's give because he's going to add his own listening to it. Don't forget, Damon is a rock musician. He's a rock artist.
Yeah.
But
He's supposed to play rock music.
but he want to fuse
Afrobeat. Yeah, so he brought Tony
in-
Allen.
and exactly,
And he wanted the
the
feeling.
feeling and
Of
so
Tony Allen.
unfortunately we couldn't really rise to the occasion.
Wow.
I remember one night Craig and the producer just came into my room and they said, Kyle, you have to sack the singers. And I was like, what? They said, no, you have to, we don't want to see them tomorrow. That is command. They came to my room this night, like about 10,
And you have products.
and they are telling me to tell those singers,
Who are
about
going to
6
come.
of them, not to come tomorrow. They are fired. And I was like, wow.
How do you do this?
So I tried to call him up and I said, guy, don't come on. They've asked you not to turn up because,
I'll send your money to you.
well, they all got paid, but they still came because they couldn't believe they wanted to find. Nigeria, they thought that if
It has not happened before, yeah.
They didn't even accommodate any of those things. So, then we travel from Bogobiri every morning to Iwaya, through and fro, to do the recording. But the funny thing, in the end, because like I said, there's a lot that goes into the story. When they finished the recording,
What was Tony?
Tony Allen,
No.
Damon,
No, the girl.
Yinka Davis.
Yinka Davis.
Okay, so when
now you're coming to our Yinka
so they
Davis.
now asked me to sack all the and not to come back. Then they asked me to employ another set of musicians. I was like, wow.
How is going to do?
So somebody now recommend Yinka Davis. So I now called Yinka, and Yinka now came. I think maybe she came with some other singers as well. I probably should take a bit of responsibility as well, because I wasn't really aware. No, I wasn't even aware of what the whole collaboration was all about.
Yeah.
You get me? That might have allowed me to employ more. I was just saying, they asked me to employ instrumentalists. Anyway, not singers.
Yeah.
Sure, you get it, So when they went back to Nigeria, when we went back to London, Damon scrapped the whole project.
Wow.
He scrapped the whole thing because he said he couldn't really see himself in that. He couldn't really
have a feel.
Yeah, he couldn't really feel.
I think the problem is that Deban is here and the musicians are here.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I train my musicians because that is the big problem I have. Most of them were not technically trained.
Yes.
Secondly, most of them live in underdeveloped environments. the food they eat.
But Duro,
The water they drink.
I know, Duro, but
That is very, very
I know,
important.
but I want to believe that some of the people that are employed were quite a la the cream in that set.
Yeah.
She get, and I think Tony too will have taken some responsibility as well. She get, because he probably should have rise up to Damon's
Level
level
what he wanted.
of what he wanted.
Yeah.
But like I said, anyway, they scrapped the whole thing.
Because
Then it now started again. They kept some of the stuff they did, and then they changed the whole thing completely. So, you know, and then the project then became The Good, the Bad, and the Queen, which was a massive project by EMI.
Yeah.
It was released, and we did a series of tours. We went to France, went to some, you know, Yinka Davis also happened to be in France with Baba Rolling Dollar. But because everything kind of, they're just intertwined
so
with each
that's how
other.
you call her.
Yeah, as soon as that project was over, I was now able to say to Tony, Egbon, ẹ jẹ́ ká náà gbé album kan jáde pẹ̀lú àwọn people yìí.
I
So,
remember the album.
Lagos No Shaking.
Yeah, I remember. We said Fatai.
Fatai, Yinka Davis, and then a host, Showboy was there.
Boyga Oyedele.
Boyga, yes.
He was part of Afrology.
Afrologic, even General Boyga Dilaja was at the first session with Tony. He was on piano, keyboard, you know, because he was coming from his reputation with Hugh Masekela, America, exactly. So I thought, it would be a good so you know, so we met in a New Morning nightclub in Paris. That was really nice, and with Damon. You know, so we won't go too deep, but at least that is Bogobiri. So over to you. Anything else you want to add to it?
Bogobiri is about 20 years now. And we celebrated Bogobiri 20 years last year. But it was no celebration. Because it was a movement from from the new Bogobiri back to the old Bogobiri. And a lot of things has changed here.
Yeah, you can tell. You know
that
that after all those years,
yes.
this is the first time
you're coming here. Wow,
Yeah.
wow. And thank God that this place is continuing. Because if not for people like Tola, Chike is also here.
Where is Tola?
Tola is Tola now is the Tola now is a GM at the National Theatre. Yeah. So they've been real good. I think me and you, I think we should do some kind of performance.
I would love to.
I would
love to contact
again. Maybe for now, I think for December.
Please,
And if you go now, you come back by December.
Yes, I'll be back in October, end of October.
Okay, so let's write a letter to them
Definitely.
that you want to do a show and you've been in Bogobiri and it's going to be this.
Yeah.
I wish we could bring them on Abang to Bogobiri.
Why not? It's still possible.
Yeah,
No,
because
why not?
the show I had
After that, and we are approaching.
Because after that, I really want to do something with Damon Abang myself. In 2008, Damon Abang and Tony Allen came for collaboration.
Yes.
And when they came for collaboration, Damon Abang was so happy with me. I was not really in the spirit of Femi because I think there was a kind of disconnect. After Fela died, I never went close to Femi. And then when they started the shrine, I wasn't really close. But everybody was saying a lot of things about Femi and Sheung. And I feel that Femi and Sheung should not have an issue. Because they're the same family. But Tony Allen and Damon Abang came to perform. So, you know, after the shrine started, and I looked at Femi, I said, Femi, please take care of Sheung. I beg, he's your brother. Femi went very crazy. He said, Duro, are you crazy? Don't you know I can walk you out of the shrine? I said, Femi, you do that to me? and I kept quiet. I didn't go on stage that day. But what annoyed me is that I was one that taught Femi in Fela's house. I met Femi after he never wanted to go to school again, to stay in Fela's house, and I started teaching theory of music. Went to Bobby Benson, we bought books from grade 1 to 8, and I started teaching one by one. I said, Femi, I'm your teacher, so I won't come and meet you. You always come and meet me here. That's all you can learn. I bought a red barrel, and that's what I used to mark his paper. And he was one of my best students.
Wow.
Femi.
Mentioning Bobby Benson,
Yeah.
Baba
Baba, he
also
started there.
played with Bobby Benson.
Yeah, I have a history of 40 high-life musicians and about 100 of their scores. I've been doing since I think early 90s. I started getting materials. But he is the only one that gave me his own autobiography. And when I saw what he was doing, he was one of the most real biggest names of going around, because the other musicians just stay in Nigeria.
Right. So
He
sorry,
played it
sorry,
at Deola Akinsoye.
sorry to cut you short.
Yeah.
I think that will be the end of part 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's
You can stop. Yeah.